actually he didn't want to speak about anything else but these charges of over 100 alleged financial breaches. Now, I keep seeing it termed as financial fair play breaches, and it's not actually. And which is why when Pep Guardiola keeps insisting it's the same thing as the UEFA case, this again, same, we've been here before. It's not actually, because one of the fallouts actually from the Court of Arbitration of Sports ruling at UEFA was that there were people in the governing body who felt it shouldn't have strictly been an FFP case, because they felt it was more than that. They were overruled and UEFA decided just to press on that FPP angle. Now, speaking to legal experts that have dealt with similar sport law cases and financial cases, they say when you look at the Premier League's charge sheet, you can clearly see that it's not just about FFP.
So what more is it about? Are you able to say?
FFP is one small element of it. Now, when you look at the wording of things, failing to provide an accurate reflection, a true and fair reflection of the club's financial accounts, failing to disclose full details of player and manager remuneration. Now, those things suggest alleged fraud. And actually, UEFA's former chief investigator, that's exactly the term he's used. That's what he's called it. Now, what's interesting about this, and I think anyone who has a real thirst to understand how this all starts, you need to go back to 2014 and that settlement that UEFA reached with both PSG and Manchester City at the time. Now, in Der Spiegel, who published some of leaked emails and stuff, they suggested that Gianni Infantino, in his role then as the Secretary General of UEFA, he was the one that facilitated this against UEFA's financial body's better judgment. They wanted charges to be pressed because it was such a clear, not just breaking of their rules, they felt, but disdain of it from the clubs. And PwC and Octagon's report in 2014, it makes for really, really good reading. And I think anyone who wants to get a better understanding, they should start there. It's
complicated, isn't it? It's interesting. Not many people have wanted to speak about it, quite rightly. A lot of Premier League managers distanced themselves from it at the weekend. Karen Brady, I think the only chief executive, and of course she's of West Ham, spoke about it the weekend in her column. The outcry for blood on the league's carpets will be deafening, she said, if they're proven guilty. Does that feed into the fact that, you know, this is what Pep's kind of saying, that he feels that the clubs are out, the other clubs are kind of are out for him?
Yeah, I mean, listen, Melissa, Harvey and Darmish and all of the Sky Sports guys have done superbly well to set the table, if you like, in terms of what the charges are and what they could be facing. So the subsequent days have all been about the reaction. This is the first time we've had somebody of seniority from one of the Premier League clubs coming out and speaking in a column yesterday in The Sun. Karen Brady did that, and she gave an insight into what, as you say, that the reaction from the Premier League clubs would be if the allegations, and they're only allegations at the moment, were found to have any substance to them. And it kind of reflected what a lot of the guys in the press, Martin Lipton in The Sun, Matt Hughes in the Mail on Sunday, in the Daily Mail, Andy Dunn in the Daily Mirror, lots of colleagues saying that there was a general unhappiness from the other clubs around this. And, you know, Karen articulated it in a manner as only she does, very straight talking. There would indeed be blood on the carpet, because there would be a feeling within the other clubs that I want to choose my words carefully here, because I don't want to be characterised as suggesting anything that might not be the case as far as City are concerned. And as I don't have that column in front of me to quote verbatim from it, I want to be quite careful. But I think there was a general mood of unhappiness, let's just say that. And what was quite striking was that in Pep's defence, he named specific clubs and he said, you know, that they want to come for us.
Yeah, 9 of them, didn't he? He did.
And I thought he might name clubs, but I didn't think he would name specific clubs, and that was quite interesting.
Those were the 9 that wrote to UEFA, but he then suggested that the 19 clubs are the ones driving these charges because City are not part of the establishment, and I'm sure we're going to get onto that later, but that's one of the things I want to underscore, because every club signed up to FFP, and I think that if you're following the rules and somebody else isn't, that's where they will be annoyed.